On the 14th of February 2009, Tony Bromley was chased and hunted down outside of an Anfield takeaway shop. Dennis Gilboy and Scott Walker jumped off a motorbike and chased the teenager, pursuing him across nearby waste ground. The 18-year-old Tony tried to elude them by leaping over a fence, but was cornered and hacked to death with a machete. Emergency services were called just after 1:30 AM and found the teenager with multiple stab wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene in Sprucewood Close, Toobrook. CCTV from the area captured him minutes before the attack, walking alone along Breck Road holding a bottle of vodka. A short time later, he was found lying on the floor with multiple stab wounds to his body and legs after banging on a front door in Sprucewood Close. Tony's father, George Bromley Sr., dubbed the Enforcer because of his fearsome underworld reputation, was shot in the head with a silenced pistol 3 times as he sat in the kitchen reading a newspaper in 1997. The house on Vales Court Road in West Derby belonged to armed robber and safecracker Charlie SEIGH. On the day George Bromley Sr. died, he rode his mountain bike to Charlie SEIGH's home. He was in the house for around 10 minutes. Mr. SEIGH provided a statement to police which read, "When he arrived, we both went into the back kitchen and sat down chatting. George was reading a newspaper when I heard the doorbell ring. When I opened the door, I saw a man with a gun. The gunman told me to get back and I moved back down the hallway. It was clear the gunman wasn't here for me. The gunman walked towards George and I ran to the back garden and hid in some bushes. While there, I heard noises that sounded like firework bangers. After a few minutes, I walked back into the home and found George lying on the floor covered in blood." A firearms expert later told the court he thought the killer entered through the rear door and fired 3 bullets into Mr. Bromley's head at point-blank range. This contradicted what Mr. SEIGH said. 3 men were charged with the murder. A notorious former criminal and doorman, Joey Owens, who was previously a key figure in the British National Party, which is a far-right fascist political party in the United Kingdom. In 1982, he was jailed for 8 months for sending razor blades in the post to members of the city's Jewish community, and then he was jailed in 1994 for carrying CS gas and knuckle dusters when he worked in clubs as a doorman. Mr. SEIGH was the only man of the 3 who stood trial. The charges against the other men were later dropped due to lack of evidence. Jury would later find Mr. SEIGH not guilty of murder. George Bromley's killer was never convicted of his murder. The case remains unsolved. Prosecutors claimed Gilboy acted as an enforcer for the notorious Grizedale crew. He had been tasked with killing Tony for motives of revenge. Andrew Eddis QC prosecuting said the teen was a target of the Grizedale crew, a powerful gang run by the drug-dealing G family, because he was best friends with their enemy, Jamie Starkey. On New Year's Eve 2007, Starkey was out celebrating in Everton when he encountered members of the Grizedale crew who threatened to shoot him. Fearing for his life and fueled by alcohol, Starkey fled to a derelict property on his road where a Colt revolver was hidden. During a 15-minute confrontation in nearby Polford Street, witnesses heard Daniel G threatening Starkey's family and goading him. G told him to shoot me now or I'm going to kill your mother. The 16-year-old Starkey fired at Daniel G from point-blank range, hitting him in the stomach. One of the bullets pierced G's lung and exited out of his back. G was taken to hospital but refused treatment and left. Days before the shooting, G had kidnapped one of Starkey's friends and imprisoned him in a derelict house, where he stoned him. The Grizedale crew had terrorized Starkey's family with increasing violence, and on one occasion they smashed every window at his home. Starkey shot G out of fear. Following the shooting, the court heard G sent a text message to Starkey offering him £20,000 not to speak with police. He has never given evidence and no one who witnessed the shooting agreed to give evidence in court. Daniel G was jailed in 2008 for running a drugs empire that flooded the streets of Merseyside with Class A drugs. Dennis Gilboy was jailed for a minimum of 19 years and his accomplice was ordered to serve at least 17 years before he could apply for parole.